Bro, Fresh Mathews, yo,
What's up,
how
man?
you been, bro?
Chilling, bro. I'm just good, man. I'm happy to be here, bro. What's going on?
Yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the
Seeking
Success
Success
Podcast.
Number one podcast in Toronto.
Sick, man.
Everyone should subscribe right now because it only takes people like us to get OGs back into the game. But
Yes, sir.
now we're a bit more serious. Let's actually talk about like what really happened, bro. So, bro, Paan, Ravi, aka Fresh Mathews.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that you guys, you when I say you guys, you and Sambo Siva, hands down had the whole Tamil community in a chokehold in the sense that everyone knew who you guys are, whether they're old, young. Literally, even today, I asked my mom, like, "Yo, do you remember like back in the day, like Paan, Ravi?"
Your mom
Ravi?
knows too?
Yeah, she's like, yeah, I remember. I'm like, you have a podcast with them. I was like, what the hell? Bro, you guys actually fucking, you guys are local celebrities, bro.
Yeah. Well,
Yo, what was that like? We're like people like bump into you, asking for pictures and shit in public.
yeah, man. Like in the beginning, well, even now sometimes. I mean, it's
For
a
sure.
little less, but
No way.
when we had started out, so I mean, originally we just did the video as a joke. Like, it was a straight joke. My boy Tony Jahan is his name, so he's like, "Yo, man, like this is the time, like Niga Higa."
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
Steven, I don't even know his name, Steven Higa. He's like, that was his YouTube name, anyways. When all of them were kind of doing their thing, right? It was really early on, and this guy comes to me. He's like, "Yo, let's do a kind of a parody video called How to Be a Gangster," because I think he had one like that too.
I think it's How to Be Ninja
How to
too.
Be
There was,
Ninja,
there's a couple of them,
So
yeah.
I think from what he had in his mind and what I had in my mind were completely different. I just wanted to play off for like the older Tamil guys, you know, with the accents, like coming in exactly how they dress, pants down, leg up, pop collars and stuff, and turn into a joke like that. So I'm like, yo, let's run with that. Then a couple days later, when we just put that video out, I get my buddy messages me. He's like, yo, you're going viral. Like everybody's seen your video. I'm like, for real? Like we're just fucking around the whole time. You know what I mean? So yeah, I went from there, and then we kind of wanted to keep that momentum kind of going, and then branched off. We started doing like MCing for like events and stuff. You know, and then it's kind of hard because we dropped the second video, and then people are like, "Oh yeah, you dropped the ball," or like the content that they're looking for is not the same, but we're trying to branch it off and actually get more serious and stuff like that. So you can't, I guess please everybody, but you just gotta keep it going. The thing is, around those times, it's tough, right? Like I'm just in university. I think I was 21 at the time. And we got my mom's on my ass asking me, telling me to go to school or get a job, like, while you messing around with this. So they're not seeing the value and all that. So it's kind of juggling that, not being consistent with our work. So that's where like those delays were, and slowly started getting back into it around 2015, trying to bring out like the Fresh Mathews character and not just that, because I feel like you're a little tied up when you're just doing one character and you're focusing on one kind of crowd and one kind of community type thing. So just wanted to branch it out to make it more open to the brown community, making that kind of stuff. So that was good too, but it takes a lot of work. Even a 1 minute video, for Instagram, just cutting that up. And we, like with Tony especially, because he was the guy, the brains in the background and everything, you know what I mean? So he would like put in that extra work and do all that. But meanwhile, he's just getting married and like moving on in life. And I'm just going back and forth with school and work and, taking my time. So that kind of gets in the way too, right? And it's not being committed and all that stuff with that because of all these external factors. That kind of get in the way, and and then here we are now. But like, till this day, and even coming in here and like, seeing your guys, like what you guys are doing and being consistent with the content, that's motivating as hell. You know what I mean? It's like, actually putting that time aside and being disciplined. That's So shout out to you guys though.
Oh, we
honestly,
appreciate that, bro.
man.
Yo, it's crazy
absolutely.
too because we had conversations, or I guess I had conversations Tamil household dropping out of school.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a couple of years ago. For you, it was 10 years ago. Imagine like trying to convince
the pressure then.
like, bro, back then when
It's
no one
hectic.
was really,
You come in with like, I was single mother raised, right? And like in her head, all she knows is, we got to pay these bills. You got to put money on the table. So you got to work as hard, and then you got to go to school as hard too, right? Tamil parents are like, I can't balance a full-time job and balance full-time work, right? It's like, but your cousins do it. Like, I'm not a robot, bro. Like I want to do my thing too.
Yeah.
They then start seeing the value of it after, once they got the other aunties and everything coming up to them, and then like, oh yeah, I seen your son doing this. I'll post a video on Instagram and it's connected to Facebook, and then one of my aunties will see it, and then it's just all gossip. It's like, oh, your son did this. And I'll be like, oh, what did you put up? And you were holding a bottle or whatever, like whatever content I put, right? But either way, like, and it's tough being like in a brown household. It's like you're not getting that support and everything, even though they do support, or if people ask, they'll be like, yeah, that's my son. They're proud, but like you don't really see like, yo, keep that going and
Of
whatever,
course, of
right? So
course.
not having that, it's just it's really difficult to kind of continue and to push through kind of thing.
Now you guys were crushing it because views wise, especially back then, like 100,000 views, 200,000 views, 300,000 views. Was YouTube paying you guys at the time?
So at the first video, I think originally it didn't. Once we dropped the second one, then they did start paying a bit.
Okay.
That's when we started getting motivated to do
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
obviously it just doesn't pan out kind of thing,
Of course,
right?
of
So,
course.
but then we just taking those avenues and seeing how we could benefit from that. So
Yeah.
I got into doing emceeing
emceeing,
and
yeah.
stuff like
I
that too.
saw
So
that.
Tony would be my event coordinator in the background. The original plan is to have him do like video so we could do a whole kind of thing, right? So emceeing, potentially DJing and doing the video, creating a whole kind of a little bit of a business like that type thing, right? It's still in the works. I still do the emceeing. Like
Yeah.
with COVID, it kind of died out too, and that took a big hit too, right?
Yeah.
So just put a whole kind of block on just mental content creation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And everything else, like all the wedding gigs that you had booked, like everybody's canceling and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
kind of puts a halt on everything. And just going through that too. I mean, it was kind of tough. So slowly getting back into it now. And I lost access to my Instagram account for like a year and a half. I got hacked,
Crazy.
got my account back. And I guess because too many people, like my boy was accessing my account as well too. So
Yeah.
when you have too many people logging in, I think in their system, it just looks like robotic or whatever, right? So struggling to get that back for a year and a half. And then finally got it back because then you get that notification that says, you try to reset your password again and again. Did that happen to you recently? You said you had lost
My
your
account just
account.
got fucking deleted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you suck. No, I'm kidding. No, it was just, it's like they didn't delete my account. It was still there. They just wouldn't let me access it. So
Crazy.
like, keep
Yeah.
doing reset your password. Finally, I got the notification to, do a selfie thing. Then I had my hair
verification.
up tied. So I'm like doing this shit. And they're like, no. I'm like, I tried again. I took my hair out and then they finally gave it back to me. I'm like, oh, thank God. Because just that, it's not much. I'm like, what, 4,000 on Instagram? But, it was organically built. Like it took
grind.
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to do that stuff, right? Like, you see numbers fluctuating here and
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
But then there's those set of fans that will always ride for you no matter what you
Yeah,
do type
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
even though
yeah.
you're crappy and you suck and you're just posting a picture and whatnot. But, shout out to those fans, honestly, because those are the ones that keep it going type thing.
100%.
Yo, because I was gonna say too, when you first walked in here, like you had your hair, and I was like, oh god, like this guy looks so different.
Yeah.
But it's crazy when you had your hair out and you like did the outfit change.
Yeah.
Bro, it was almost like I was sitting with Rose Hunter from like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
fucking
I know.
crazy.
Shout out to my makeup artist. No, I'm playing.
Yo, and even with the emceeing, you actually emceed my boy's wedding, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
So it's nuts because I think Johnny and behind the scenes we know Johnny. He was like telling me how he's showing the picture. It's like, yo, Rose Paan Ravi emceed my wedding.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck you? I'm like, yo, whatever happened to that guy? What happened? And then he showed me. I was like, oh, what the heck? And then it was so random how somehow we just bumped into each other on IG, and then we were just like, yo, like let's fucking make this happen.
Yeah, no, because Johnny, like, it was last minute. I don't know, maybe it was like a couple months or maybe a month or two, and he's like, yo, I'd love for you to MC my wedding. And I didn't even know Johnny's actually related to, he's cousins with Tony or Sambal Siva's wife.
Yeah.
So they went there too, and then I seen him again after at Tony's kid's baptism. So we're just kicking it, and he's cool as shit too. Just like
Yeah.
And then I don't know, he didn't say anything about you. I was just kind of going on Instagram, and you're popping up. I'm like, yo, I like what this guy's doing. He's not just talking about just very oversaturated Tamil content. He's actually doing like what these other YouTubers are doing.
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah,
trying to find ways to do things. So
Yeah.
I'm like, following this guy, and 3 seconds in, you message me. You're like, yo, goat. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, chill.
I'm like, what
You
the
because
fuck?
those jokes when you followed him, he put on his private Snapchat story.
Yeah,
for
like,
the-
oh,
yeah,
and then
nah,
she's
that's all
like,
good.
I was like,
yo,
yo,
Rose Paan Ravi follow.
Yeah.
That's
And then
crazy.
Johnny's like, yo, you just followed my boy. I'm like, holy shit, this is spring.
Oh no way.
No, I'm just like, honestly, man, like I wanted to surround myself around that or like kind of follow that to see what you guys are doing and like kind of pick up off of these little things, if you didn't mind. Just to kind of get back into it and get that motivation back type thing, right?
Yeah.
Just to hit those different avenues in whatever way possible. But yeah, honestly, man, shout out to what you guys are doing because that's motivating me. If I was able to do that to people before, it's going back full circle now.
Yeah,
So you're
for
doing it
real.
for me.
Fucking sick, bro. Yo, I'm glad we can do that for you too, because
appreciate
like
it,
I
man.
said, bro, I think a lot of people are like curious, right? Like, because sometimes with our guests, we have our own questions that we ask, but a lot of times we'll ask other people like, yo, like, what should we ask this person? I asked a couple people, what should we ask you? And a lot of them was, yo, where has the guy been? Like, why has there been a video?
Where are you? Why were you MIA?
Yeah, like what's been going on? And okay, now we kind of know what's been going on. You know, life happens, whatever. But what's the future looking like? Like, are we going to see a return of Paan, Ravi? Are we going to see a return of different characters? What's in the future?
Absolutely, bro. So definitely that. I mean, like that character, I know that I can bring back at any time. I just want to be more careful in terms of how I'm doing the content, right? Like I don't want it to be the same kind of jokes again and again type thing.
For sure.
So, you know, have that, but also, you know, I was playing with a dad character that I had, like, or that father character. So I want to play with that too. Me and you had a conversation the other day, which made a good point. I'm like, you know, how I do want to branch. I don't want to be stuck with the, you know, in the Tamil kind of, like saturated in the Tamil kind of community and doing content for that. I want to open it up and not stuck with like a glass ceiling type thing. And what you mentioned was, you know, get that kind of momentum back. And that's what I definitely want to do and start making videos to kind of, you know, quick little content videos to cater to that market, get that fan base back, and then slowly start bridging out. But in the meantime, I'm like steady focusing on emceeing and stuff. And started finally, as soon as I got my Instagram back, I was able to get back, you know, a bunch of clients and a bunch of events booked for this summer.
That's sick.
But then, you know, of course, you got to make more content for them to reach out, right?
It's like a full
that's
circle.
what I'm pretty much focusing on. Yeah, absolutely, man. And then, you know, doing this podcast thing, I definitely was interested in what you guys are doing here because I want to do this, but I'm like, how do I do this? Do I do this by myself? Like, am I going to be talking shit for like an hour? You know what I mean? So I'm still working on that. Yeah.
Yo, because I wanted to say, we were watching lunch a lot of your content, especially because now we're having you on, so we had to rewatch a lot of the things over again. And some of the content that stood out to me was the newer stuff, like the Curry God stuff. Like, that's, like, why didn't you play around more with that character? Because we saw you only had one, I don't know if you removed them. Again, no. I'm not Tamil, right? So I didn't even see your content growing up. It was more so my Tamil boys showing me now. So was there more Curry God content that just got privated, or was it just that one video?
I think there was that one main one. I know there was a couple that we had in the back burner. Like we're just like, should we put it out? And we didn't eventually do it. It was just more so of like were the fans or were the people kind of vibing with that. Like obviously with the Paan Ravi character, they love that off. With this one, I wanted to play with because I wanted to make it more urban, more cool, but also still with that. Definitely love to bring that back. But I think for me originally, it was more so of not seeing, like, we put in a lot of work for that kind of stuff. I think I did a small Instagram video where I did the hot sauce, you know, the ramen challenge.
Oh yeah.
Then I took curry powder and I double dosed it with that, and then put 2 bags of the thing, and I just almost burnt my asshole off. But it's a lot of resources to kind of do that. But you know, it's just kind of playing with certain things. Like for you guys too, I mean, you might know, like certain videos get more hits than others. Right? So it's more so of that. And I'm like, okay, what's easier to do, and you know, what'll take more time and get more content kind of going. Absolutely, man.
That's the issue with content creation, right? It's such a cog and wheel thing where, like, as a creator, you have this desire to put out a lot of content, but if you really want to take it to the next level, you have to do what the fans and viewers want to see, and then find that fair line of how do I create what people want to watch and enjoy, but also what I enjoy filming and creating, right?
That's the thing, right?
And that's the difference between people who just dabble and then the ultra successful is like they found that perfect line, like Mr. Beast, for example, or FouseyTube, or I mean, he kind of fell off, but at one point he was on it, right, making the content that people want to see. And that's very difficult because then you're not just in the race of you want to build your own characters, but now you're chasing trends.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think a lot of people do, right? Because like obviously that's what we're chasing. We're trying to chase that just to get that, you know, exposure type thing, right? So we're gonna play with what works, but also you kind of want to move with the trends kind of thing and just, you know, make it, you know, accessible to everyone type thing, right? So that's where I feel like it is a bit overwhelming for me at times. So I'm just like, oh, I have so many ideas. I'm like, nah, but what if this flops, or what if they don't find this funny? You know what I mean? Or what if I'm just targeting a specific audience and I'm leaving other people out? And you know, with the cancel culture nowadays, it's kind of crazy, right? Crazy. So you got to be careful and stuff, right? So
how is it like in the past with cancel culture and compared to now? Like, how big of a difference do you see?
To be honest, man, with our culture, with the Tamil community, I mean, it's always offensive. Like we were talking about, you know, the run and stuff. Got so much flack for that. It was stupid because man.
Yo, do you know what that is?
No, what is that? I didn't understand that either because I saw the videos.
Yeah, so basically in the I think it was the How to Be Rowdy Part 2, we're just like, bro, there's a run. So basically runs were when the cold credit card thing was going on and people were going around and doing runs, right? I'm not gonna get into details. But yo, bro, at that point, it was a joke. Like everything was dead. Like, you know what I mean? I used to get messages. I was on the street. I was driving on the street. One guy pulls up to me. I think this is in Brampton. He's like, yo, bro, what are you saying? Roast on Ravi, yo, why'd you do that video, bro? Why did you heat up? Why did you like expose? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? This shit's dead. You know what I mean?
No
like,
way.
he's like, yeah, it's true. But that wasn't the end of it. I used to get like shitty comments on YouTube. He's like, yo, bro, why you hotting up the block? Why you exposing? I'm like, shut the hell up. But obviously, you know what? Comedy's offensive. It always will be.
Oh, for sure.
It's not too far off. I mean, this culture now, the cancel culture and how offended people are, like, is a bit more, like, I guess, harsher now than it was before. But I feel like there's always something. You're never going to be able to please everyone.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just you have to be a little mindful and also aware, because you want to reach out to more people. You can't just close off and, you know, kind of disrespect, and not in a way. I mean, comedy is comedy, man. Comedy sometimes is harsh, right? It's just you have to be able to see that person doesn't really mean it like that. It's not coming out, kind of splitting that kind of content. Yeah.
The interesting thing though with cancel culture is, again, I don't mean to say you should intentionally try to get canceled, but sometimes those are your moments.
Yeah.
Right? Where like, imagine like, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you didn't say the runs in your video, and no one's commenting, why did you say that? Why did you say that? All that engagement helped push the video.
Yeah.
Right? Someone will make a video and someone will comment, yo, you spelt this wrong. They're gonna go nuts. Or some guy was wearing some off-brand Jordans, whatever, and the whole comment section is roasting him for the Jordans, right? And that's one of our most viewed videos, right? It's like almost one of those things where it's like you want to dabble, but it's like that thing where like don't fly too close to the sun, right?
Exactly.
But even we've had experiences like, think about it. Logan Paul flew too close to the sun, and what happened? He's back.
Right.
Tate flew too close to the sun. What happened? He's more popular,
Yeah.
right? Lil Nas X flew too close to the sun.
Okay, that one I'm gonna have to stop you, bro. Lil Nas X, that's crazy.
Nah, but I'm just
that
saying,
one's a bit too,
there's
like, you know, I don't know about
there's
him.
people who do crazy.
That fam, he landed on the sun, bro. He's burning in the hell, fam.
God, I guess he was fireproof. But
guess-
my point is like, I like people are obsessed with this whole cancel culture, but unless you don't do something that's completely morally disgusting, there's usually
But where do we
come
draw
back
the
in.
line to what's morally disgusting?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
right?
And
I mean,
the
like,
line gets
remember
moved.
there's like some people, like if we're gonna give examples sake, like child predator or something, right? If you guys cancel for that, it's probably very tough.
You
to
don't
make
think
a
that's canceling,
recovery.
fam. That's just jail. Like,
But that has happened with some influencers. He was like, I don't know, I don't want to name drop right now, but like,
who? What?
that guy who does makeup, James Charles or something, didn't he get canceled because he was like texting little boys or something? No. My point is,
were you the little
you
boy?
can't recover from that. You can't recover from
There's
that.
certain
right?
things. I mean, in that context, there's no coming back.
Yeah, but
from
fam,
that,
like,
you know what
that's
I mean?
different than
But
like
I
you
mean,
know,
like
just saying
you
like.
bumping into what happened with Logan Paul. Let's probably not say it for the sake of this getting removed from YouTube, but a situation like that is like, bro, why would you post that? But also, it's like you can understand because he was young and it was an accident. So I mean, there's a line.
Sure.
Again, you don't want to fly too close to the sun.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And then some people feel like they can't come back. For instance, like Louis C.K. with that whole ordeal. But then I slowly see him coming back into like podcasts and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the diehard fans would, right? Like I'm a huge fan of Crystalia. But then Crystalia got called out for grooming or whatever on Twitter. I don't know if you follow him. Basically, he was talking to girls and whatever, and that caused the whole thing. And he took a step back for a bit. You know, kind of taking that break, and maybe that also helps too. But it all depends. It's like, do you lose it? But
For sure.
then to your point, it's just like, you know, do you push through or do you keep like what Andrew Tate did? He kind of, it's not that he stopped, like he was physically or forcefully stopped, but you know, do you just push through and just keep doing you, and then you know what I mean, and then you still have that fan base and you build more, or like, are you just going to be negligent?
That balance is perfect. Like you said, I think it does make sense to have that step back because Tate even had that step back where like some people would argue, say, no, he didn't. But like he's changed the way, especially after coming out of prison. He's not as vocal as he was about women before.
Yeah, so even in one of his podcasts, he said he doesn't like to talk about relationships anymore just because there's no fucking point.
There's no value
now
for
it's
that.
haram as well, so he's converted to Islam.
So there's that, but then there's also like a great example is actually, you know, the Baby, the rapper.
Yeah.
Like when he got canceled for calling out a bunch of people with AIDS or something.
What?
It was gays or something. He was at a concert. I think it was like Rolling Loud or something. And he got crazy backlash. He got removed from a lot of songs and hate and stuff. But at the end of the day, like he's still doing sold out shows.
Yeah.
Because true fans don't care if he's
Well, that's the
homophobe or
thing,
not,
right?
right? So it's one of those things where like, and I'm not saying like discludes communities just to be an asshole, right? People make mistakes, but it's just what you do. You get to step back, reevaluate, and come back in the game. Because if you be too arrogant, then people might, your own fans might go like, "Yo, this guy's flat," you know. I think that step back is so important.
Well, yeah, not even arrogance too, but like some people with like true talent. Like for example, even with you, we just saw you just played the role for almost 30 minutes straight, like fucking no hezzy, just on it, right? Like not a lot of people can do that. It almost seems like you do this fucking every day just by how you did it the first time. And I think people like you and just, for example, the baby, Tate, whatever, the people who actually have talent, who actually have some sort of craft, they'll be able to come back after a cancel. They'll be able to come back after a break and still perform and do what they do best. So I don't know. I think it really just depends. And I've been telling this guy, everyone needs like their little scandal. Like I don't think having a scandal is like a bad, obviously, again, you took it to the extreme with Lil Nas X, but you know, like a 1-2 cancel moment, like fine, fuck it. You know, everyone has to go through
That's
it.
the thing, man. It's also being like just aware of it, or you know, and it's not coming back or doing something wrong, and then just be like, and not saying, yeah, fuck that, I don't give a fuck, I'm coming. You know what I mean? You got to be a bit more remorseful or be aware. You know what I mean?
Be mature
you'll still
about
have
it.
your, you know, the Andrew Tate fans will still have his fans or his low-key fans or whatever. But you know, if you want to like actually grow, and you just got to actually continue to do it. Like continue to make that content type thing.
Yeah, so let's quickly talk about that, because I think we do have to wrap up shortly. But what's your plan to like come back? Because you have been pretty ghost for however many years.
100%, man. I think just for me, just kind of getting back into it and just doing that small content and making those little comedy videos. You know, and just sitting down and writing out bare notes, just in terms of, you know, doing podcasts. And I was more in front of the camera before, and now I'm just kind of, you know, teaching myself to like all these little tricks in terms of video editing and, you know, iPhone photography and all that stuff. So I'm doing my research in my back end just to kind of perfect that stuff, because then I can still kind of branch out in different ways. Like I'm big on fashion. I'm big on like, you know, men's fashion and stuff like that too. And the art scene, like I went to university and I did take theater and performing arts as like my major, right? So so this acting thing, I mean, it seems like a joke, but I actually do know what, you know what I mean? So in that field, and that's what I really want to do. But that's the other thing too, right? Like going back to it in terms of like feeling like that glass ceiling, just like I wanted to be an actor and get into that. But what are they going to cast me as? A taxi driver, a terrorist, or, you know, a doctor, right? It's true. So it's just like it feels so like demotivating, just kind of 100%. Being brown in that, or like, how do I look? I look like a villain, or like even if I was to go to, you know, Hollywood or Bollywood, I'm probably gonna be one of those rowdies in the background, like those rough looking guys.
Yeah,
right?
That's so funny you said that, because I don't know if I told you, but like I think I told John for sure one day I'm gonna be in a Talent movie. I don't care if I'm like a fucking. I feel like I just have to do it. Yeah. And I think again, maybe I'm completely delusional and I'm wrong, and you guys can clip this, but I feel like assuming I take YouTube seriously and I continue on this path, there's no way that I don't get famous enough to a point where I could just have a fucking 3-second cameo in a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just be the guy that just like passes the Adaval to like fucking Vijay or something, and then, you know, done, right?
How does Danush go from that way and comes in here and he's in some Hollywood movies?
Yeah, bro, he's in like a Netflix movie, and like the Grey, something. Crazy. But yeah, like I'm sure it could happen. Yeah. And bro, I think
we're breaking the molds too, man.
We're breaking the molds, but I 100% agree with you said, because I think if I was to be in a Talent movie, just because of how I look, I think I'd probably be like a villain, bro. I have the fucking long hair. Yeah, bro, in brown movies, all the villains, they always have long hair, ears pierced, and like that's just a boom, like the bad guy.
Dark as shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll pick up a tan, maybe. I don't know.
I get a tan. Yeah. Some muscles.
Trust me, bro.
And you're there, bro.
No, but I feel like, you know, you get to a certain level of like fame, and then you're able to kind of do whatever the flip you want.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
yeah, 100%.
Right? So it's crazy. I would love to get to that. But at this point right now, it's just kind of exploring and kind of seeing where it wants to go. But I'm still doing the MC thing. Just kind of want to play with this content creation stuff and see if I can do that. But you don't want to, I mean, what advice would you give, considering what I've said to you guys right now? Teach me, please.
Yeah. Yo, I think the advice that I could give you right now is your name holds so much weight to the point where I think if you wanted to collab with like anyone in the Tamil community, I think you can make it happen. Like, I think literally just shoot a DM, yo, it's me, you might know me as whatever, fucking however you want to do it. I think a lot of people would say yes to you, as opposed to, for example, even if I tried, a lot of people would be like, oh, like, fuck off. Like, oh, no. Yeah. But I think because you're like an OG in the space, I think definitely make use of collabs. Because even in the podcast, it's like a way for us to like kind of get collabs and hack.
A great example, because just piggyback off what he's saying, the collab thing, right? We started in January. Literally, the first episode was filmed before September. and January 2nd or 3rd is when we start posting, or maybe the first week of
These
January.
like for the
podcast.
No way, this January.
January of this year.
Yeah.
And we've just passed 5,000 followers on Instagram, 7,000 followers on TikTok. How? The power of collaboration.
Yeah. Well, that's true too, right? Like just collecting with different fans or different fan bases, like you guys had that dude McFly, and you know all of his hardcore fans following and watching his stuff. They bounce onto yours, but like, yo, these guys are cool too.
Exactly.
Like, that's the way to do it. Absolutely, man. I think that's big. So
yeah, I'd say definitely the collabs. And if you're trying to drift away from like the Tamil or like I guess try other stuff as well, bro, it just depends on how bad you want it.
Absolutely.
Like for people, we have people tell us like, oh, we're gonna start a podcast in Toronto, and we always say like, okay, good luck, because we post 2 times a week, and like on TikTok, just shorts, we post like
daily
2 to 4 times a day. So it's like, okay, if you want to compete with us, like great, like sure, let's do it.
No, it's true.
You know, so
You know what I mean?
with that as well, just again, you're gonna have to be consistent. Just post.
That's true too. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I think that commitment and that dedication that you guys are putting in will definitely do wonders, because no matter what it is, if one video pops and one doesn't, you're still keeping it going kind of thing, right?
Bro, because it's so crazy, man. The time is so different.
Yeah.
Because take it in, when you made your videos, you post one big video and you just hope it fucking pops off. For the creators today, it's like you have to make your weekly, or sometimes people do multiple times a weekly long form video.
Absolutely, yeah.
But also fucking almost daily shorts.
Yeah.
And it's like mind numbing, right?
No, it's not fucking easy.
It's
shit.
crazy, bro. Yeah. It's crazy. Like you have to it's like, if I had a full-time job, I don't know if it'd be possible.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's just like I'm still stuck with that. And then do I still have that mentality to, I still got bills to pay and all this stuff, right? So it's just like, yo, that's going to take away from this. Or do I take that leap? Or it has to be realistic, right? Like you have to dedicate time. And I think you can still do it. You can still, what they say.
Yo, but here's a beautiful thing. And it's crazy because we kind of had like a circle moment. Earlier today, I was with my boy. We spent a couple hours together. And a quick background for him. His mom died when he's 19. He's been on, his dad was never in the picture. So he's been on his solos. Graduates high school, mom dies. So no college. He never enrolled in college. He doesn't have any money to his name. His mom left him with no inheritance except for the place he has to rent. Right? So imagine, 19 years old, you get to work and take care of yourself. No cousins, no uncles, no aunties, nothing. Right? That guy who has a normal 9-to-5 job stumbles upon creating content. He wants to make videos. He wants to be a YouTuber. And for the past 3 years, he's been working and making videos at night. And today he's like, yo, Umar, I've been doing side gigs, photography and videography gigs. And he's like, yo, honestly, bro, fuck it. September, no matter what. I've saved enough money that'll be good for the rest of the year. I'm going fucking all in. And it's crazy when you have that determination, because he first figured his financial. Like, don't be dumb. Don't quit your job if you don't have money to take care of yourself. That'd be dumb as hell. Because he had the taste, bro. You know, like this month actually for me too, I had a video that did well, nice YouTube paycheck, right? It's like one of those things where like faith will give you that, a beginner's luck.
Absolutely.
Will give you that taste of success, and it's up to you to go fucking all in, right? And you have to be responsible about it, right? You have bills to pay, family to take care of. You might have a girlfriend or a fucking boyfriend in 2023, whatever. Like make sure you can take care of your shit, and then go fucking all in. Because for those people saying, oh, like I tried it, bro. Like when we just did the crypto thing, like when we were doing crypto thing, I was working a full-time job in the morning, doing crypto thing at night. It was like exhausting, man. And once I took it at full time, I was like, oh, like, okay, this alone is a job, And then how do you maintain it to make sure you're getting paid equivalently?
That's the thing too. And I was gonna say, I mean, as cliche as it sounds, the hair is like there's 24 hours in a day, you're only working 8 hours. Like, bro, fuck it. But then you're in a relationship, or you're trying to start a family. Like, do you guys are at? I mean, I don't know if you guys are in relationships, but
he's married.
I'm married.
He's like, you did all of that, and then you have this extra time to do it. But for yourself, if you have that extra time and you're actually taking advantage of that time, right? It's like, if I can go back, I would 100% do exactly what you're doing now. You know what I mean? Because still golden, you continue that, and you'll be somewhere else, like even more successful, even making more money and shit. You know what I mean?
Because mental bandwidth's a thing, man. Like,
I
remember Radies taught me that concept a couple of years ago when I just met him. It was like, sure, everybody has the same 24 hours, but it's one of those things where like, if you waste 8 hours a day at work with that mental energy that you could have been focusing on the thing you want to build is gone. Exactly. Right? Imagine your phone's at like 20%. Now you're gonna what? You know? It's gonna get hot and shit. It's
that's
like turning off.
It's like
dims the lightness.
I can tell myself this all day. I'm like, I want to do it. But then, and it's also of just like holding yourself accountable to actually get it done, right?
For sure.
I finesse myself all day. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep in a little bit longer, and it's the whole fucking day, and it's just gone, right? So it's like you can tell yourself all the bullshit you want, but you have to do it yourself. No one's gonna do it for you.
100%.
As cliche as it does sound,
for sure,
nothing's gonna happen for you unless you make it happen for yourself.
Sure.
I catch myself in the middle of the night sometimes. I'm like, yo, I got to do this, man. For real. Like, you know what I mean? There's no time like now. And then the only thing that we'll never get back, of course, is time. Right? You can make money. You know, you can build relationships. You can do all of that, but you're not going to get time back. I think my cousin told me that the other day. I'm like, it's corny ass shit, but that's real shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Yeah.
And I guess the other thing is, which you're doing a good job of, is even just hanging around the right type of people. Like all four of us here behind the cameras too, we're all like content creators, right? So like there'll be some days where like this guy will post a YouTube video and it's fucking popping off, and I'm like, oh fuck, like okay, like I need to go hard on YouTube.
Fuck, I want to beat this guy.
Yeah. bro, me and this guy, we had like so many fucking races, bro. Like he's ahead right now, and like he's actually ahead. He has a pretty fucking big gap right now. But bro, ever since like me and this guy both started doing YouTube, it'd be like, okay, like whose video is getting more views? We'll make
but it's friendly competition. It's pushing you guys going, right? Yeah,
like it's fucking sick. Or like fucking if someone else just has a sick TikTok, we'll be like, oh shit, like okay, like how do I fucking do this? Or like this guy's editing his video like this. How do you do this? This concept, like all this different stuff. And I think even being around that environment, because a lot of the times, bro, like even with my friends, they're like my friends that are not content creators, like they don't fucking get it, right? Like I'll be like, yo, like take a video of me, and there's some shitty ass video. I'll throw like someone else like, yo, take a video, and they'll be like, okay, we'll get like this, you know? They know everything. But look, girls are good with that too. Yo, why is it that fucking girls, they're just so sick with all the angles and everything? You ask any normal guy, you just take a picture, it's the most shit picture ever.
Because they know they spend time getting themselves ready and just to, to get that perfect shot and everything.
Yeah.
I do to my girl too, and now she's basically behind me just doing it, right? I want to kind of build that up too, right? And then I want to look at that as like kind of, people that do like their couples kind of like content pages with like vlogging and stuff like that. That's something I want to do too. There's always a market for that as well. But yeah, man, and that like it's a big thing too. Like the people around you, and like that doesn't motivate you because I'm not gonna get not my shitty friend, but I'm just like, yo, take a photo of me, fam, or like take a video of me. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like this. Like, why do I even bother, bro? Then it's missing out. But like, why don't we build those people up, or at least the people that are worth it? And be like, yo, train yourself to take better pictures of me so you can follow me around for that.
For real talk.
Yeah, and I think it's as crazy as it does sound. I feel like again, as full-time content creators, it really does matter. Like it's almost like our friends kind of have to get used to being friends with us because we aren't like, for example, even just getting recognized in public, right? Like it'll be to a point where some of my friends, like I feel bad because we'll be just walking through like King Street if we're just like out downtown, whatever, and it will literally be like, oh, you're Radies. And then a lot of times my friends will be like, no, it's not him. So I'm like, fuck off, leave us alone. Like we just keep walking, right? And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that grows over time, because here I experienced it, bro. Even I was trying the story earlier, like fucking at what is it, Dave's Bakery, Chris Bakery. You know Chris Bakery?
No, I just came from Martin's Bakery to get my.
Oh, Martin's Bakery. Yeah, like bro, like even at the bakeries, I've been getting recognized and shit. It's really, fucking weird. Right? Like I don't like that shit. And I think Umar's.
Did you say you don't like it?
I don't like it. No.
It's a funny thing because I actually just got a whiff of that, but I'll continue and I'll tell you.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just because I used to get that a lot too, right? And like, I mean, normally when people used to see me as like they recognize me, I don't look approachable. I have like this resting bitch face or like I'm gonna stab. Literally, people have said this. Like girls are like, "Yo, I saw you like walking by because I used to work downtown." It's like, but I didn't want to bother you because you look like you're ready to stab somebody. Like, I don't know. Like this is me walking around normally, right? But I'm so approachable, even though. We got cut. Okay. No, even though like I get that anxiety too. I'm just like, oh shit, I hate this, man. Come on, like I don't want to do this. But like that's the thing, like it is shitty, but you don't understand how much that means to that person.
Oh, for sure.
To constantly watch someone behind a screen and actually see them in real life. So you have to be, at least my thing, I would tell you, just be humble and be nice because you might be making that person's week or day or even year. Right? You don't know how much, and they're so nervous too, right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, shit, that's the guy from this.
For sure.
No, it's definitely, it's cool. Like, it's very cool, but I think sometimes it can get kind of weird or like annoying. Not annoying, but like, I don't know. I'm just uncomfortable with it.
I mean, I think it's something you have to get used to.
Yeah, I think it's something you
get used to.
Yeah. And some people just make it weird, bro. Like some experiences, like they'll just be like staring, fucking like they'll look down at your phone and look up and start laughing.
That's the thing, trust me. And it's your head's going, say, shit, do I have a booger in my nose? Or like, I used to get that a lot in university when it's popping off. I'll hear giggles and shit. And I'll be like, fuck, man. Like, are they laughing at me?
Yeah.
But they're just nervous, right? And it's other people, but they're just like, they're kind of shy and like they're laughing or giggling and they won't come up to you. And I had the weirdest interactions with dudes. Be like, yo, staring me down. He's like, yo, you're that guy, right? I'm like, yeah, I guess. He's Like, all right, man, sick.
That's it.
Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you want an autograph? No, it's not really that. I'm kind of used to it, but at the same time, and like I said, man, like you got to be very cool. You got to be like grateful that you have that opportunity. When people say that's a first world problem, I don't even know what the fuck that is. You know what I mean? Not everybody will get that. They recognize you. This is what you want.
Fortunate, yeah.
This is what you wanted,
it's like a blessing and
right?
a curse, right, bro? A lot of the times now, like I'll just be someone asks me, I'll be like, no, it's not me, the wrong guy. And then I'll just keep walking, and then they'll be like, no, bro, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, no, wrong guy. I just keep walking, and so it's like I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Like maybe they think
that's
I'm
the
just
thing,
fucking
man.
stupid.
Honestly, you gotta just at least have that heart or just that openness to be gentle and be nice to people. Because you get celebrities also like, oh, that guy's a dick in real life. You know what I mean? And then that's going to work against you.
Oh, for sure.
Trust me, when you're in the numbers game, you want that. You know what I mean? And your personality and the way that you are or portray yourself online that's how people expect you to be. Even though maybe you want to just be chill. Maybe you're the most introverted person ever, but you got to play that up. Like if there's a reason why you're doing this, that's a part of that too, because that's your numbers and that's the people, that's your fans. Those are the people that are buying tickets to your show. Those are the people that are, paying for whatever content that you're putting out. Right? So keep that in mind.
It's a balance, and I mean, I don't know, man. I guess it's something
it's
we'll all learn and fucking figure out.
It's a blessing as a creator.
Yeah.
Yo, let's actually go into the final four.
Yeah, let's get into the final four.
We'll wrap things up. So
wrap it up.
in our show, we have a final four. So there's 4 fun, lighthearted questions.
Okay.
First one: if you had to swap lives with someone for 24 hours, who would you pick? You can say Paan, Ravi.
Someone that's alive?
Anyone. Could be dead or gone.
Sure. Alive or dead.
I don't know if that's tricky. Damn.
Who's just the first person that comes to the top of your head?
Celebrity? Fuck, I'm thinking like a rapper or something, but I don't really like people too tough like that. No, not even. I don't know, man. To be honest, that's a very interesting question. I want to say something corny like, yo, switch lives with my mom to see how she feels.
Oh, okay.
We got
and
someone
just
like
kind
that
of, take a step back to actually appreciate like what these people go through and what their thoughts are, right? Anybody kind of would want to say a celebrity because they want to live that glitz and glamour, but it's just like, yo, take a step back and actually realize. Maybe, man. Yeah.
What does Umar really think, eh?
It's just like, God damn. It's like, my son's a goddamn piece of shit.
God.
Nah. I don't know. Yeah, I think like realistically, some like a close loved one or something like that, just to kind of see, you know what I mean? But then it'll at least allow us to appreciate that more, or like kind of thing.
Fair.
Not trying to be all like people like I've never actually like just spoke out like this or like on a serious. People always think I'm a fucking joke, probably. But I appreciate doing stuff like this, and I think I want to do more stuff like this, right?
Sure.
It's like I got shit to say.
Oh yeah.
I was telling this guy, it's like, man, come on. What else you got?
The next question is, who would you say is the most motivating person of all time for you?
Most motivating? Honestly, man, Tony Jahan has consistently, or Sambo Siva, he's consistently never gave up on me. That's one of my realest friends. I mean, I have a bunch of real friends. But in terms of like pushing me and constantly like never giving up when it comes to this field, definitely him. Even through everything, and then like him, being married and having a kid and stuff, and he's still there. It's just like, constantly being positive and constantly pushing. So I appreciate that guy for sure.
Okay, word. The next question. Let's just say your whole life is written in a book from when you were born till now. What would the title of that book be called?
Damn. Literally just damn.
Jeez.
It's been a life for sure. I tell you that.
Okay. That's okay.
That'll be a whole other podcast, but the struggles, the losses and everything. I don't regret any of it, to be honest with you, because it made me the stronger person that I am today. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I like that. Damn.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick Lamar has an album called Damn as well. Yeah.
Simple, clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then the last question is, if today was your dying message to the world, what would your last message to the world be?
Yeah, honestly, just smile, man. Just smile and be happy. Just that'll last longer than any kind of bullshit. Low is low, man.
Rate it.
Yo, that's really amazing.
That's
guys,
a good way to wrap it up.
We just brought back Paan, Ravi. Like, I don't know what the fuck else you guys want us to do on this podcast. Subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. Share it around. And until next time, remember,
Low is low, man.
Low is love.
Let's go, guys. Good shit.
Terry Dane.